Welcome to Cowboys, Trailers, and Ranches. I'm Jimbo, and today we are in one of my favorite places, Fort Worth, Texas. We're at the meat board, where all the meat's at. This is where this is the locker. This is the locker in Fort Worth. So if you haven't been, if you haven't done business here, you need to come here because I'll tell you what, Don Ray's got some of the best meat in Fort Worth and in Texas. So today we're going to talk cattle, and we're going to talk cattle with this lady to my right, Miss Jana Earp.
Hi.
Thank you so much for joining us.
I'm so happy to be here.
This is going to be good because we're going to talk cattle, which is always near and dear to my heart. And I know you've been around it. You've been around a good amount of your life too, right?
Yes, sir.
Is that where you grew up?
Yep.
Right on. So, tell us about Miss Jana Earp. Now, Wyatt Earp in your history.
Yes. Yeah. we have the paperwork and all. It's all legit.
You knew I was going to ask.
Yes. But I'll tell you what a lot of people don't know is apparently a couple generations back, the brothers had a little bit of a disagreement. So some of the family says Earp and some of the family says Arp. And they say, how do we really know how they pronounced it back in the day? So yeah, a little fun fact.
See, I've never heard that.
Yeah.
I've never heard that.
Yeah.
Wow. So, where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Mansville. It's about an hour south of Fort Worth.
Yep.
And we had cows and horses and goats and chickens and all the things. And then we had some land out in East Texas, and that's where we kept the majority of our cattle. So we were back and forth between there a lot.
Right on. So you grew up Western. You grew up in the Western industry.
Yep.
Been around it all your life.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I think so. Yeah.
Awesome. So Jana is with the oldest cattle organization in the state of Texas, which I've been waiting to do this. This is like a stop sign. This is like the sign in Texas. The Texas Southwest Cattle Growers Association. And I'm telling you what, you see more of these in the state of Texas than you pretty much do road signs.
Yeah.
So how long, what's the story? Kind of give us a little background about the cattle growers.
So I joined the association in October of 2002, or 2022. So I have only been there about a year and a half, and just saw an opportunity open up. I was in corporate world before that, doing advertising and partnerships, and so wanted to move and work in an industry that I also live in, and
Absolutely.
took the opportunity, and now I'm the advertising and partnership manager.
Right on. You enjoy it?
I love it. So love it.
So we were talking earlier earlier this year. You guys put on a big convention, right? In March.
Every March in Fort Worth, we have our Cattle Raisers Convention and Expo. About 5,000 people come through. We have a lot of education sessions, and then we have about 300 vendors. And we also have a demo area where we bring cattle in and show everybody kind of how to sort cattle and brand them, and a little bit of the ranch brought into Fort Worth for a minute.
That's so awesome. We were looking. Ranch Texas was looking to have a booth there this year. So I called the association, and it was just until recently the old light bulb clicked on. I'm like, Jana, did I talk to you about that? And then we didn't know each other then.
Yeah.
So that was you. So you organized pretty much all the vendors and that whole show then.
Yeah, really anything that brings in revenue, any advertising, I handle. So all the exhibitors that come in and set up booths, I work with them. And then we also have a lot of sponsors that sponsor the education sessions and the demo area. So coordinate with them and what kind of signage they need and how to promote them. So a little bit of everything at convention.
That's so cool. And it grows every year. It gets bigger every year.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, we have a lot of members that come, but since it's in Fort Worth and such a great location, we have a lot of people that just come check it out, see what's going on. And this year we did a lot more social media promotions and had some people come that didn't even know anything about the association. So it was really neat to get some new faces there.
So it's open to everybody in the cattle business, in agriculture, correct?
Yes.
I mean, you probably got different genres of agriculture that come in there and set up for it also, or is it strictly cattle business?
No, we're a beef association, so that's the majority of what our clientele and what our members
Sure.
are. But you don't have to have cattle to be a member. So we have a lot of landowners and maybe a lot of big game ranch owners that come as well. And then we've added a lot of retail space, which is exciting for me. And having the booths and the turquoise and a little bit of shopping while you're there. So that's kind of what brings the Fort Worth person to stop in and see what's going on.
Right on. So if you are connected anyway in the beef industry, probably ought to call this lady in Texas. You probably ought to call this lady because I know this event. I know this weekend grows. This grows every year. So get your name in the hat.
Yeah.
So how would you? So say I'm a new guy in Texas. I just moved here. How would you get hooked up with the association, and what does that look like to join?
Well, we have probably the best way to meet people and get to know the association in person. We have about 20 ranch gatherings in Texas and Oklahoma. So those are in kind of scattered all over the state, and we have about 200 to 400 people that come, and a lot of it are people that are not members. They're just trying to see what's going on and what we stand for and why be a part of it. So they get to come and hear the story about TSCRA and how we're advocating on their behalf, and then also meet local ranchers in the community that they can learn from and get to know and see what they're doing. So it's a great membership drive, but just meet everyone in your community, and that's the best way to kind of get your foot in the door.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the thing about our Western industry. It's a tight knit, 2 degree of separation community. We've had this conversation. I mean, it's amazing to me, people that you know, that I know, that we've met just in association work like what you're doing.
Absolutely. It's a close group, and
the networking, I'll say it again, the networking in this industry just absolutely blows my mind. And for what you get from going to these trade shows, I mean, we've talked about it before because I've done coast to coast. I mean, from border to border trade shows, and I'm telling you what, the networking and the business that comes out of those is incredible. Mm-hmm. It's really incredible.
Yep, it's all about the people and taking care of each other.
Absolutely. So what would you say, because you've been in the cattle business, what works for y'all? Like what out of your current situation, what y'all are doing, what breed of cattle works for you guys?
So we have Herefords, and mainly that is what my dad raised, and so influenced by
Everybody
that.
starts with Herefords, I swear.
Yeah, I know, I love them, and I get a lot of flack for it. If you're trying to be in the beef industry, but I hear it all. This is what you see a lot more in the beef industry than these cattle. But,
black.
Yep, but I love the Herefords. Is what we have. I do have one Angus that we will feed out and lives there for a while, but I'm a Hereford girl through and through. I love them.
So horned or polled?
Polled,
right on. I was like, boy, if she says horned, I'm gonna be like, girl, get out of the 30s.
Yeah, she knows that. Yeah, I understand. There's definitely other cattle you can run for the beef. Right now, we're doing it for our family and a few friends and things like that, but definitely want to grow more. And as I do, obviously have to be flexible and adjust and take in other people's wisdom and see if I change our program at all. But right now, it's Herefords.
So I'm always asking everybody that will listen anymore, what do you think about the Wagyus and what that brings not only to the industry, but obviously the state of Texas?
So I was having an event a few weeks ago, and Nolan Ryan was the speaker there, and he has
way cool.
Yeah, it was really cool to kind of see him. But yeah, I'm not on the baseball field.
In that mode, in his cowboy mode.
Yeah, and really, he did his baseball life provided him the ranching life.
Absolutely,
yep. And so it was cool to hear his story. But they, a couple of questions brought up about Wagyu and being a great businessman and marketing. He said people are asking for it. We're gonna bring it to them. So I think people hear that name and know hear it as a nice cut of beef. It's been well marketed, and people do want to feel like they're getting a fancy cut sometimes when they're going out. And so I think it's a great thing. If there's a need for it, we'll fill it.
That's what I say. And I'll tell you, I brag on it a lot because we eat a lot of it. And when I go out, that's literally anymore. If there's Wagyu on that menu, I'm probably gonna order it because I think it's probably one of the better cuts and the better flavored meats out there. And I know I know out there you guys are giving me a ton of shit right now, but I'm telling you, if you haven't had it, at least try it because it's legit.
Yes.
It is legit.
Yeah, it's different and it's a cut above. It really is.
And it's a growing breed. I know in Texas alone, I mean, they've started their own Texas Wagyu Association.
Yes.
And there's a breeder. I've talked about him before. He's out in Sulphur Springs, G5 Cattle Company.
Okay.
And he is crossing Angus. He's using Wagyu bulls on his Angus cows. And so he's getting half bloods. And I'm telling you, he's got a retail store now.
Nice.
And he is killing it. They are sending out that half blood Wagyu beef everywhere. And I mean, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
When you've had it, you know.
Oh, right. So that whole Wagyu cross thing, I mean, there's a lot of guys starting to take notice of it.
Well, and a lot of the quality cattle breeds have come from crossing.
Absolutely.
And what you get.
Absolutely.
You don't
Absolutely.
have to just stay with the Herefords, crossing. You get a better product. So that's really cool.
So with the Cattle Raisers Association, you see just about everything, right? I mean, there's not more purebreds than there is commercial, and there's not more commercial than say guys that are just doing F1s. I mean, a little bit everybody across the board.
A little bit of everything.
Right. Right.
Big producers, small producers, sometimes just landowners. Yeah, there's definitely a good variety, and everyone is well represented, really.
So why would you have that hanging on your fence?
Well, the Special Rangers is
Other than it's cool.
It is cool.
It's cool. It's really good looking. Don't get me wrong, purple and white.
It's cool.
TCU.
I have one in my house too, which I think it's so cool. So I agree with you. It's not just for the gates, right?
Sorry.
But the cattle raisers were started to help combat the cattle theft and horse theft almost 150 years ago.
Yep.
So that is really the backbone of the association, and that's what I tell everybody. If you have land, livestock, anything ranch related, then being a member, you get access to these special rangers. There's 30 throughout Texas and Oklahoma.
That's
so
cool.
You have their cell phone number. When you're missing a cow or a tractor, you call them. They're going to come out, investigate it, and treat you like family and work the case until they get answers. So that's where we started, and I think
That's
one
awesome.
of the best things about it.
That's way cool. That's way cool. And for everybody out there that doesn't think that cattle stealing, unfortunately, still goes on, it's alive and well, unfortunately. And I know this organization right here is big and represents a lot against it, obviously. And that led me to my next question. You guys have your own brand inspectors, right?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, the special rangers work with the brand inspectors, and we have them at every sale barn, and we have recently implemented some iPads and some new technologies where if your cattle are branded, which they should be, and yours go missing, and you can put that brand out there, and within minutes to hours, they know what to look out for. So we've come a long way to kind of fight this cattle theft, and it's evolved over the years, but they work about.
Hang them.
Yeah.
Yep, I just said that.
That's a lot of a response, but yeah, they're taking people's livelihoods.
That's absolutely right.
Okay.
And I think it's probably enforced in Texas more than it is in other states, because obviously Texas, being one of the bigger cattle states in the country, we take that shit seriously.
Yep, absolutely.
So if you're coming onto our land, just be ready.
Leave it how you found it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so if you're forecasting the future, not only of the cattle business, but of the Cattle Raisers Association, where do you see, like, where we're at right now and all the turmoil that we've had in the last 3 years? Where do you see the cattle business and the cattle raisers going from here in the future?
Well, as far as cattle raisers, we are really working to draw in those smaller producers and new producers and just landowners also, and get them to be part of the collective voice of TSCRA. So when we go to Washington and Austin and advocate on behalf of landowners and agriculture, then we have a bigger voice. We can say that, you know, we have this whole voice behind us, and you need to listen to us, and here's why, and really be able to advocate on their behalf. So that's why recently you don't have to own cattle to be a member. You can be just a landowner or be looking to get into the industry. So just really opening up to, and especially a lot of the new people, you know, the last couple of years, so much changed in the world, and we saw a lot of people going buying 20 acres and 2 cows, and wanted to make sure that we're there to give them resources and educate them and teach them the proper ways to do things. So that's a lot of what TSCRA is doing. And one of the number one things that I get asked from friends and family and people that I meet when they learn I'm in the industry is, where can they buy beef directly? And not worry if they're going to go to the grocery store if it's on the shelves or not. And then ranchers ask me the same thing, where can I go sell my beef? You know, so
that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you got people, I mean, that to me, that means people are being more aware of the industry and what's going on, but they're also wanting to get back to old school where we're going and we're supporting our farmers and our ranchers and our beef raisers, which to me, that's where it needs to start immediately. And I think you're seeing that. And obviously you're getting inquiries about that.
Yeah, getting a lot of it. And, you know, knowing where your food comes from has been trending for quite some time. But I think recently the beef industry has really caught on to that and started pushing that proper narrative in the way of knowing where your beef is coming from and all the positives that it does for the planet and for the community. So I saw a statistic that said, I think it was 56% of consumers are willing to pay more if they feel connected to the brand. And so if you're a local producer and you're out there with your community and you've built up your personal brand and you're marketing yourself, people will pay more and people want to invest in you and your family and feel like they know exactly what they're getting.
Right. That's value, right? As long as they're getting value, they'll pay for it. I think that's anybody, right? If you're getting a value, if you feel like that product has got value and it hits home to you, you're gonna give a little more, right?
Yep.
Yeah, right on. So I get reports like from Oklahoma City stockyards and Joplin and some of these other bigger yards every week. The numbers are freaking stupid. I mean, they are big. I mean, so are you seeing that on your side of the fence? Are you seeing that with new people coming in? Are your numbers going up like what we're seeing going to the yards?
So for membership?
For membership and say new people that maybe you haven't seen before that are new to agriculture.
Yeah, we definitely see people wanting to make this lifestyle switch. Right now is a bit of an expensive time to jump in and start a herd, considering the drought last year was a little tough. But yeah, we see people. I talked to a guy at an event last week, and his dad, he says he's almost 60, and he just went and bought land and is about to buy his first head of cattle because he wants to raise, be a rancher, raise cows, and process it, and that's how he goes. And more power to him. Like
absolutely,
come all.
Absolutely, and that's what I see every day on the ranch real estate side is people are wanting to get back to their roots. They're wanting to raise their own vegetables, their own beef, their own chicken, their own, they have their own garden. I mean, so raise their own hay. So I think that part of it is going to turn this industry for the positive. But boy, there's plenty of freaking negatives right now in the agricultural industry. And cost is one, right?
Yep.
So you're seeing that, I'm sure.
Yeah, myself is trying to
raise
my own
absolutely.
It hits home, but then especially last year with the drought and so much going on, just talking to ranchers and members and just those heartbreaking conversations of what are we going to do and what did this look like and how are we going to get out of it and keep being able to ranch for our family.
Absolutely. So you just hit it. Family. Do you do much traveling with work?
Yes.
You do? Oh, do you?
Less in this industry. I was in corporate America before, and I traveled all over the country and out of the country. So my my range is a lot smaller than Texas.
The state of Texas compared to the world.
Yes. And
not much difference.
Pros and cons of both, right?
Not much difference.
So, I don't miss being on an airplane all the time, but seeing new places, new food, and new cultures was really cool. But
So you're getting out on ranches, I mean,
Yep.
with your customers, signing up new people and explaining and talking the talk.
yeah, so I do a lot of the advertising and marketing with our partners. So I'll go to the bull sales that we
on.
have in the spring or
Yep.
the fall, and then a lot of the industry events too. Yeah, get out there and meet them face to face and
It's the only way to get
see
it.
what they need.
Go to them.
Mhm.
Go to them. Absolutely. So are you seeing the local sales that you're going to? Are you seeing a tick higher and numbers up?
Yes.
Yeah. Purebred side
And-
as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
And every single time, everyone there is surprised. Like even though it's been happening like that for a minute. So
Well, I know the purebred sales that I've been to in the last 6 months to a year, the numbers are just unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, some of these sales averaging, 10, 11, 15,000 on bulls and the same on females. And wow, it's crazy. It's crazy, which is good.
it's hot
It's
right
good.
now. Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good for everybody right now. So, all right. So I got a question.
Okay.
So I picked out one question that I ask all my guests.
Okay.
And you don't have to worry about it. It's easy.
Okay.
So
Not fail.
you're like, okay, I'm ready. So if you had to pick one thing in our industry, in the Western industry, that you would change to keep it Western, what would it be?
Keep it
To
Western.
keep it Western.
So this may be a roundabout way to get there, but
I'll help you.
Okay.
We'll get to the core.
yeah, I think it's so important that we tell our story and that we're authentic and can open up about why we do what we do. Obviously, cowboying and Western lifestyle is popular right now, and there's a lot of trends that maybe aren't as authentic as people like you and I feel.
Right.
But seeing these people that are so interested in buying boots for the first time, go to their first rodeo, and being able to tell our story to them and why, what rodeo really is, why rodeo started, why we're raising beef, that 1% of people are feeding all the rest of the world, the rest of the country, being able to tell our story, be authentic with people outside of our industry and impact them the right way, so they're just not making up the narrative of these rodeos we're running around chasing cows and running horses. Being able to tell them what it means for us to live in this industry, I feel like will impact them in a positive way, and that way if they do come into the industry or if they're retelling the story is told in the proper authentic way and not
I like that.
not what's seen from the outside looking in.
Yeah.
They don't know any better, then let's be the people to get out there and tell them like this is a livelihood for us, and this is
Tell the story.
Yeah, the
Tell
right
us-
story.
Right, the right story. I like that.
So roundabout way to get there, but just
Good
no,
job.
Yeah.
That's a first. I've never,
Okay.
that's a first. So you nailed it. I like that. I like that. Be authentic.
Yeah.
Because that's what this is all about. That's what the Western industry is. Be authentic.
Well,
So-
and connecting with people
Right.
and relationships, and
Yep.
if there's somebody who views something completely different than you, that's okay. Like maybe you can.
Let's chat about
Win
it.
'em over a
Right.
little
Yeah.
bit.
Right. Let's
Yeah,
chat
yeah,
about it.
yeah.
Right. Why do you feel that way?
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, I like that. I like that a lot. So you had indicated to me that you kind of wanted to kind of go out and do some speaking and kind of do this mentoring
Mhm.
thing in our industry, right? I love that idea. I'm all behind you on that. I mean, that's
Awesome.
seriously, that's killer. I love that.
Yeah, it's something I just see a need for. Again, coming from the corporate world, I had a lot of opportunities to be mentored, and I would not be the person I am today without it. And just trying to find that for me in this industry and in Fort Worth. And there's a Cowgirls and Cocktails group that I'm a part of, and chat
Love
some,
that.
but it's
Love that.
networking. But
Because we love cocktails on
Exactly.
Cowboys, Trailers, and Ranches. That's awesome.
But to really be able to mentor, whether it be, obviously I'm in the sales and marketing side of things, and I do have my own cattle, but I probably can help you a whole lot more if you want to build your brand and personalize your ranch, then great. I would love to have that conversation with you and mentor. Or if there's an area that I don't know about cattle and how do I grow my herd and how do I bring cross
Right on.
these things, and I want to learn from you, huge need for it. So yeah, definitely something that I'm working on.
That's awesome. I love to hear that because I think more people need to get out there and have a voice. And you know what? I mean, you hear it all the time with what's going on in the world. have a voice, stick up for what you believe in, be authentic, like we just talked about, right? So I am all for that. That's killer. So do you do any speaking at the convention yourself or no?
I don't have the convention. Our speakers there are very, very qualified in their fields. So I don't speak at convention. I'm much more working with those clients on the show floor. I have done a few speaking things for some clients of mine that wanted me to come in and explain like what we do and the benefits of it. Some friends that own some companies and want to bring agriculture to their students and things. So I've done a little bit here and there and a couple of podcasts. Like, thank you so much for this.
This is awesome.
Being able
Thank you.
to get my voice out there and share a little bit more is, the more people you meet, the more
That's
opportunities
it.
open up.
Nope,
So
absolutely. And doing this kind of stuff, it just connects and opens up doors.
Yeah.
People out there right now they had no idea about this purple and white sign. They've seen it, They got no idea about it, and now they know about it. So to me, that's a win-win.
Yeah.
I love that. Love that. So with that being said, if you're in the cattle business or you're not, or you're fixing to be, you need to call this lady and remember the purple and white sign. And just ask for Wyatt Earp.
Yep. Yeah.
Freaking love it. So before I reach out to our badass sponsors, I want to take a second to talk about our preferred whiskey. So my Air Force buddy in Fremont, Nebraska, his nickname is Steiner. Steiner bought this for me about a month ago, and I've been wanting this special military edition that Pendleton does, and it's hard to find. And he found me a bottle, and I drove all the way up to Nebraska to get it. So anyway, I want to thank Pendleton for supporting our military, because being a veteran myself, it means the freaking world to me that a company of this size does something like this. So thanks, Pendleton. Not only are you the baddest freaking whiskey out there, but now you support the baddest people out there. And I'm telling you right now, hats off, because all us guys appreciate you. So anyway, I wanted to take a second to do that and reach out to all my brothers and sisters out there that serve now, that stand for this country. And I'm telling you, don't ever forget it. In fact, right now, go out. If you find one, if you see one, give one a hug, give one a handshake, and tell them how damn fortunate that you are to be here. So anyway, our sponsors, Ranch Texas, always our title sponsor, ranchtexas.com. Look on our website, guys. We got a ton of really cool ranch listings, a couple of big ones, 840-acre ranch that we're just taking on in Johnson City. The big teakwood ranch in Ecuador, if anybody wants to be in the teakwood business. 200,000 acre teakwood ranch. You freaking imagine?
Okay.
Unbelievable. Yeah, unbelievable. And we've got a really cool new $7.9 million ranch in Liberty Hill, hometown. It's 125 acres, turnkey arena. There's a rope and 150 by 300 rope and arena, barns, killer coastal. It is absolutely gorgeous. So if y'all are in the market or know someone, reach out to us. Love to help y'all out. Other posse of partners, Rodeo Rigs out of Montana, Laredo Conversions out of Weatherford, Texas, the Cowboy Roundup, the coolest rodeo scholarship clinic fund out there. Support it. Get on board. Let's help these youth. And then last but not least, the coolest hat box out there, the Beaver Box in Oklahoma. Thank you to Scott and Corey Powers for that design. So anyway, I want to thank you once again.
Yes.
This has been so informative. I think you have really brought a lot of information that people didn't know about. So
Great.
I really love that. And I thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you.
So Meat Board. I'm gonna shout out to Don Ray and Mr. Greg Kimmel for letting us use this amazing amazing boardroom with this backdrop. This is like we're out sorting freaking cows.
Yeah.
This is so cool.
This is authentic.
This is authentic. This is right off Don's Ranch.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
that is legit. If you are ever in Fort Worth, Texas, and they will send you meat, this is the coolest meat locker / restaurant. I mean, and it's not typical. I mean, this is like upscale. This is really cool. Plus, he has partnered up with the 4-6s, and he's got some 4-6s swag in here. I know he's doing some meat from the 4-6s, right? So if any of you Yellowstone fans that are now 4-6s fans, you need to look out for the meat board in Fort Worth. So anyway, hell of a show. We're going to call it a day. And if you don't know how we sign off, you don't have to drink that, but we're going to do it.
But I may as well,
Yeah.
right? I guess I can handle it.
Look at this. Look at she's stepping up to the plate. So this is how we sign off. You want to say let her buck and keep it Western.
Okay.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Let her buck and keep it Western. Pendleton Smooth. See y'all next week.